guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be starting the Start Small 2021 tag, and if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, so before we get started with the actual tag, I actually wanted to just put it out there that I will be reintroducing the hashtag that I started in July. If you guys watched that video, July was my birthday month, and so I had done the Joanna Lynn's Celebration 2021 tag for July only. But Ellie from Puni Puni Stuff had made a comment like, oh, she wished it was to the end of the year. And I realized it's actually not inherently birthday related. It had my name in it. And I thought, well, you know what, there's no reason why it can't be. So from October through December of 2021, if you want to do anything out of what I'll just be talking about in just the next few seconds, then you can use the hashtag Joanna Lynn's Celebration 2021. Now, it may seem like, oh, you only have to have, or you only can have certain things to participate, but I promise you, I really thought about this so that anyone truly can use the hashtag if you're just trying to find some focus on some of the pages you might be doing over the next few months of the end of the year. So obviously anything in a Joanna Basford coloring book would work. So coloring book, if you get her free PDFs because you're on her email list, her calendar, her little postcards, whatever. If it's Joanna Basford's work, it would count towards that hashtag. Now, I didn't realize until afterwards, but Hannah Carlzon would also work. So anything from a Hannah Carlzon book, if she has postcards, if she has free PDFs, if she has purchasable PDFs, I don't know. This is the one book I have. That would also count towards Joanna Lynn's Celebration 2021. And then, of course, Hannah Lynn. Now, I don't own any Hannah Lynn coloring books, but in my Coloring Heaven collection books, and I have 3 of them, each of them have some Hannah Lynn work. So this would definitely count towards that hashtag. And you might be thinking, oh, okay, so I can't participate because I don't have Hannah Lynn, I don't have Hannah Carlzon, and I don't have Joanna Basford. Well, where the celebration comes into effect is any picture that you color, any craft that you might do, any planner spread that you might create that is celebratory in nature, and it doesn't matter what the celebration is, counts towards the hashtag. So if you're celebrating getting a haircut, it's a weird picture. If you're celebrating yelling at the dragon in your life, if you're celebrating that the owl finally calmed down so you could take the selfie, you could color the picture and use the hashtag. Really, I wanted to make a hashtag with my name in it because I'm a little extra, but I wanted it to be, okay, well, no, I can make this coloring, crafting, and celebratory related, but really, I just wanted a hashtag with my name in it. Yeah, I'm that girl. So I just wanted to talk about that hashtag. Again, it's going to be going on through October through December 2021. If you do tag on Instagram, use the hashtag, tag me on there. My Instagram page is listed in the description box. But yeah, let's actually get into the actual tag that I'm creating. Okay, so for the Start Small 2021 tag, the reason I created this tag isn't even so much for all the coloring books I'm going to be showing you. It's actually for the actual tag portion at the end. So please bear with me until we get to that part, because to me it's important, okay? So question number 1. What does intimidating mean to you by way of crafting coloring pages, planner spreads, journal spreads. I don't hear intimidating that, planner spreads or journal spreads or even crafting is intimidating to people on those types of channels. But I hear that so much here in the coloring book community. And I've often wondered, well, what does that mean to you? Because does it mean that you've picked up a coloring book that is super expensive, like this one? Now, this is not a flex. This was an absolute birthday splurge. And the book itself was like 20 something dollars. It's not outside the realm of what I've paid for some of my other ones. But the shipping for this, plus tax, this book was $60. This one book was $60. And so this might be intimidating to me because I paid so much money for this book. It could be intimidating because the artwork is so detailed or the artwork is so quirky that I don't know where to start. It could be intimidating because I am not great with skin, I'm not great with hair, and so I don't know where to start. It could be intimidating because this was expensive. I want to give this and create masterpieces and give the artist their due, because otherwise I'm wasting their money. I don't know. It's been not as strange. I get what people are talking about, but to me, I always wondered, okay, well, what exactly is intimidating about it for you? Because I don't know if everyone has the same thing. Maybe the page is too overwhelming. Maybe there's just too much detail. Maybe there's not enough detail. Maybe you don't know what medium to use. But I'd be very curious to say and see what is intimidating in your coloring books and why. The level of detail, the medium, the cost. To me, it was a very curious question because I hear it so often in the coloring book community. Now, for myself personally, I am not intimidated by coloring books. I've spent hard-earned money on this, and I would like to think that the artist would rather that I attempt and possibly fail than treat this like precious gold. Now, I know that there are coloring books in this community that are the unicorns that you just cannot find unless someone is destashing them. So I get it. I get that you don't want to waste or you don't want to ruin a picture. Now, in this coloring book, there's 5 different artists. So within the artists, I think there's like 5 or 6 different pages. So basically, I've got one shot at this particular page. Okay, I get that could be a little daunting, but I do have other pictures from that artist. For me, I don't know, I want my books to get love, and that's more intimidating than anything, that I don't have enough time to get into my 2 bookshelves worth of books. Maybe intimidating isn't the right word. I'm not scared of my books. I'm not going to ever be scared of anything I have paid money for. Those are like a fork. They're supposed to help me. They're not supposed to give me stress. And so while I understand, this is precious, it was expensive, I've got a one-shot deal, well, I'll always look at it and think of what I did and what I attempted. I'd like to think I won't have regrets on trying something versus being too overwhelmed by something just to have it sit on a shelf. I'm not a collector, so that doesn't bring me any joy. Having uncolored coloring books actually gives me a little bit more stress than even having works in progress do. So, number 1, what does intimidating mean to you? Question number 2, what is one of your most detailed pages that you can't wait to start? And so I tend to favor detail. So I actually had to have a good look on my coloring books, but you know that Erie is my #1 favorite artist. And so as I was looking through it, I thought this one is one I cannot wait to start. This one to me, and I think to many others, it reminds them of Diagonal Alley. I know I can see it spelled out. Diagon Alley? It's Diagonal Alley. But this is what this reminds me of. And so this one, I might actually get started in September so that I can potentially finish this in October, because this definitely gives me all the Halloween feels, because it makes me think of Harry Potter. And there's a lot going on the page. I probably will want to do like a cobblestone courtyard. I don't know exactly how I would do the background. I think it would be more magical during the evening, but trying to find the medium to do that will be the struggle. There's lots of different details. And for me, my Erie books are generally pencil work books. I might do some basing in Tombow, but I love how I work in these with pencil. And so not only is there a lot of detail on the page, but pencil work is inherently slower than any other kind of work. So I know there's going to be a time commitment, but I'm all in it. I mean, this page might actually be interesting with Derwent Inktense. I don't know, but I definitely am looking forward to this for the Halloween. And this might be the one Halloween picture that I do, just because it will be so time consuming. But this was Erie, the second tale, and that's Romantic Country. Question number 3, what is the most detailed page that you have that you may never do, and why? Now, this might be surprising because you guys know I love me some mythographic pages, but there are some pages that I probably won't do, but it isn't so much because of the level of detail. The detail does not intimidate me. Detail pages excite me because it keeps my interest. I think that's the problem with me with mandalas, with color by numbers, color by colors, is because with mandalas, you are literally going in a circle, doing exactly the same thing. I can't. I'd rather do something that has 1,000,001 little things to color than go in a circles, keep doing the same thing. And that's just for me personally. With color by numbers, color by colors, they literally have picked out all the colors for you. And to me, that's not exciting to me. The level of detail in here is phenomenal. It's just the page doesn't interest me. Now, from what I'm gathering, it is like maybe a page down a street in Japan or Korea. There's storefronts and there's things going on. There's lots of weirdness. There's a little kid. There's a lady dressed like a fox, some interesting characters. But yeah, the page doesn't interest me. So it isn't so much the level of detail that is off-putting. It's just the subject matter. Same with this one. I've learned that I'm not a huge fan of water, or mermaids, or sea creatures, or animals. So unless this fulfilled a tag for Olga, I'm going to tell you right now, I've done pictures for Olga Rani's either monthly or weekly challenge that I would never have done, and I love that. So unless this would fulfill that, this is probably a page I'm never going to do. Now again, the level of detail in here is phenomenal. Detail doesn't bother me. It's just the subject matter. But that's question number 4. What is the most detailed page you have that you may never do, and why? Question number 4 is, what is your favorite small-sized book? Now, most coloring books are at least the size of a copier paper page, so 8.5 by 11. They're at least that size. Typically they'll be longer. Joanna Basford's, they're square, so they're bigger. But from a smaller perspective, what do you like? Now that actually was tied between these two right here. I actually have quite a few small sized, but these are the two that I'm actually probably going to be gravitating towards the most. The first one is Reptiloids by Vassal Psycho, and I just love how quirky the artwork is in here. And just because it's small doesn't mean that it's quick. At least I haven't found that it has been quick. Now, this is going to also be a combination of both pencil work and marker work, and so maybe that's why. Inherently, whenever you're doing anything with pencil work, it's just going to be longer to achieve potentially the color lay down or the blending or whatever that you're looking at. But I really enjoy this book. And then this one is a recent acquisition. Again, it is smaller. And this is from Rita Berman. It's her summer book. And I find that even though it's small, it is heavily detailed. And again, that's fine. For me, it's really the paper quality in here that I enjoy. Now, I have finished one here. This one, I didn't think it would be so detailed. I mean, you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, well, the problem that I was running into is I based in marker. Most of this is actually marker work. And first I was using my Tombows, but I ran out of different greens. And so I jumped into my Crayola Super Tips. And so for the most part, there are like, I think 20 different greens on here. Very subtle differences, but yeah, there are differences. And that's what I ran into because I wanted to achieve a certain thing with markers. And I just had to figure out how to do that. And then lately I've been enjoying adding some lettering to my pages. You'll see this again in my completed pages, but I like these two small ones. Again, small doesn't necessarily mean quicker, but they are nice to work on every once and again. And the last question is, what is your favorite completed page that was either super detailed or intimidated you? And this is probably what made me think of this tag along with the next part, because when I first started watching videos here on ColorTube, the coloring book community, I didn't even know you guys existed until January of 2021. I had seen quite a few people with this coloring book, and I still see people picking up this coloring book or the second or the third. And to a person, each one of them basically said, I love this, I love the artwork, but it's intimidating and I haven't started anything in it. And so when I got it, I was like, yeah, no, I totally get it. You've got the artwork here. Some of it is really detailed. It might be intimidating because you have what it could be, and now you might want to try to create that. It might be a hit and a miss. And so I went into this thinking, oh, well, I mean, if all of these amazing people who have these channels who do fabulous work are intimidated by this, well, I mean, maybe I shouldn't color in it. Maybe I shouldn't waste my time because, you know, I certainly don't have the skill. And I thought, no, I spent money on this. I didn't buy it for the pictures. I bought it for the coloring. And so I did this one. Now, this is not my favorite opal page. I really like it, don't get me wrong, but it's not the favorite picture that I think about when I think of all of the work that I've done so far in opal. But this was the first one. This was started in February, and it took me about half a month just slowly going at it. Does it look exactly like the reference picture? No. You definitely can see some similarities. But as I was coloring, I was like, you know what? I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the challenge of trying to figure out what the colors are in the picture, trying to get some depth without having to go too detailed because my hands hurt. Just trying something new that I wouldn't have started that I thought was intimidating. I thought this entire book was intimidating, but I have done quite a few pages in my opal, and maybe it's just a reminder to me every month that this doesn't scare me. I will not let this scare me. I will not let any type of page give me any additional stress in my life. I color to unwind. I don't color to add more stress and just emotional tenseness to my life. And then, yeah, I always feel bad because I get that we can't color in all of the things we have because there's just isn't enough time. Even if you were a full-time YouTuber coloring all day as your profession, you would not have enough time to color in what probably is an extensive collection. Although, to be honest, if you have 5 coloring books with at least 20 pages, that's 100 pages worth of coloring. That's still extensive. I'm a firm believer that the number of coloring books that you have should be proportional to your needs. If you're a collector, you may want a large collection of coloring books. If you're like me and space is an issue, but you also want to color in every single thing you own, well, then you're going to want to try to keep it as contained as possible. And I say that with my containment being about 60 books. Maybe you have 3 or 4 because the overwhelming number of options is just, you can't have that. You need to have smaller options, finish, and then get more. Whatever works for you, I definitely believe continue. But it always makes me a little sad when I see beautiful pages that people are flipping to and then like they're intimidated. I'm like, well, I mean, but just maybe try. I don't know. An empty book just seems like a sad book to me. Now, I'm not in a hurry to complete it. That's not what this is about. But I want to show all of my books a little bit of love. And I want to remember that I have all of my books and I just want to color in all of my books. And that's just my own personal philosophy. But yeah, I wanted to do this tag that dealt with detail pages and being intimidated, but more so, I wanted to do this tag for this portion here. Now, in 2019, my friend Sherry over at Sherry from Black Dog Designs, she has a planner channel. She did the 52-day challenge where every day for 52 days, she tagged channels that had less than 1,000 subscribers. If you have been here for any length of time, you know that YouTubers, once they become monetized, they open up a wealth of benefits. And it's not even the monetization aspect. I will do a separate video on how much I've made for the first 6 months of the year within the next couple of weeks, and you might be surprised given the amount of work and time that I put into this channel. But you also get to open up a community tab, and I think a lot of people really enjoy that aspect. But YouTube is not in the game to promote small channels. YouTube is about the views. The more views your videos get, the more likely they're going to promote you. I read something the other day that there are 40,000 uploads daily to YouTube. So they've got a lot of video content out there. And so they really are going to put all of their apples in the basket of the people getting the views. That makes sense. YouTube is a business. But it is hard to get discovered. Now, I've had my channel for coming on 3 years. I have over 4,000 subscribers, and I am amazed and humbled and appreciative of all of them. But I watch channels because I enjoy the people. I don't watch channels that are in my same subscriber count because honestly, subscribers are amazing, but I want to focus on the community that I'm building on my end. So commenting, I've gotten to know so many people because of their comments. And so I think this might be a fun way to just get some smaller coloring book channels out there into the universe that you may not have been aware of. Now, all of the channels that I've mentioned so far will be in the description box, and all of the channels I am tagging will be in the description box. Now, if you decide to do this tag, please do. If you have over 1,000 subscribers on your channel, please, if you could, just look out for those who have less than 1,000 subscribers and perhaps focus on them. If you are a small channel and you want to do this tag, again, focus on other small channels. I think it's a great way to just get eyes in front of channels you may never have discovered otherwise. And so the 5 channels that I am going to be tagging in this video is Liz from Liz at Home. Now, she is so close to 1,000 subscribers. She's from South Africa. She has such a calming, amazing voice. And she's currently doing this series where she's working on some, I don't even know what it is, but there's a bird on it and some greenery, and she's doing watercolor, and they're just so relaxing to me. So definitely go and check out Liz's channel. Missy, I believe her channel used to be called Missy Coloring, but she recently changed it to Aquarius Dreams. Definitely go and check out her. Rashmi is the Indian colorist from Spain. I only know she's from Spain. Well, she's mentioned it a few times, but she also does the tag on her videos where it shows like the locator, like the teardrop thing. And so I know that Rashmi is the Indian colorist because that's in her title. And then I know she's from Spain because of the locator that she puts on her video. So definitely go and check her out. I am tagging ABC Coloring 1. I believe she is a German colorist, but she lives in the Netherlands, Scandinavia. She lives over there. I don't know, Denmark? Those are things, right? But I'm tagging her. And then I am, of course, tagging my girl, Poet Spice. All of these channels have less than 1,000 subscribers. Again, if you decide to do this tag, of course you can tag anyone you want. But I think it'd be amazing if we can just help those really small channels in the community just get to that first big goal. The first big goal for a YouTuber is 100 subscribers. And I cannot tell you how amazed and humbled and appreciative I was. And I have never lost that feeling, whether I got to 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, coming up on 5,000, whatever the subscriber count is, I'm always amazed, humbled, and appreciative that there are so many people in these wonderful communities who dig what I do. And I'd love to kind of share and extend that out to others in this community. Now, there are so many more that I watch, but I want to give opportunities to others to tag. Now, if you are a small channel, if you are a big channel, do the tag. Well, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.